Solutions Diva. I'm Laura Morey, and if you're like me, you've probably had your fair share of kitchen disasters over the years. But when one of my kids had a minor incident while cooking, it got me thinking that perhaps I needed to do a little video on the proper way to put out a kitchen fire. And so here are my tips for you. First of all, if your fire is in the microwave or the oven, turn them off and do not open the door. When you open the door, it actually feeds the fire with oxygen. If you keep the door shut, it helps to suffocate the flames and put the fire out. Now, sometimes there's just no stopping it. You can see it in your microwaves. Many people have windows in their ovens. They can see it. If the flame is not going out, get everyone out of the house and call 911. So that's the first tip. Now, we're talking about a pan on the stove. You've got it going, it bursts into flames. It's a grease fire. What do you do? Well, first of all, the first tip is you shut the source of the heat off. So shut off your stovetop. Next, use an oven mitt and the lid for the pan and gently place it over the pan and then move it off of the heat source gently. If you have a grease fire and your immediate gut reaction might be grab it and move it, well, you might splash that grease and it'll hit the heating element and you'll spread flames everywhere. You don't want to do that. So, say you don't have a lid and your oven mitt. What do? Use baking soda or salt. Do not use flour. If you use flour, it could actually make it explode or it could actually feed the fire. So use baking soda or salt and douse the flames using that. So that's another idea. Now, say you can't reach that. What else can you do? Grab a towel, soak it in water, and use it, preferably if you have oven mitts, use it to put over the pan so that it helps, again, suffocate those flames. This is not going to really work if you leave the stovetop on, so don't forget to turn off the stovetop. Last but not least, if you've got a fire extinguisher, that's always a nice thing to have. But you want to make sure if you're going to use your fire extinguisher, I keep one in the kitchen, not because I'm a bad cook, but just for safety. You want to make sure that you aim the fire extinguisher at the base of the flames, not at the top because you're not going to do anything. But if you hit the base of the flames, that will help put out the fire. So, obviously, if it gets out of control, you got to get the family out, get them out, call 911. Don't hesitate if you really are not sure about what you're doing or if you're panicking, because if you're panicking, that's it. It's just going to get worse. So those are my simple tips for stopping a kitchen fire. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully none of you will have to use these, but it's always good to know. Maybe share it with your kids, share it with your husband. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next week on SimpleSolutionsDiva.com.